StudyHouse.com.
Okay, students, we are in the periodic table chapter with the variation of periodic properties. Okay, this is the second lecture with respect to variation of periodic properties. Okay, periodic properties, first property we have discussed is variation of atomic radius. Okay, in the variation of atomic radius in the previous lecture, we understood that from left to right right, atomic radius decreases. Okay, and from top to bottom atomic radius increases. Atomic radius, what happens? Increases. From left to right decreases, from top to bottom increases. Okay, reason is that effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge. Reason for decrease is effective nuclear charge increases. Okay, and here atomic radius is increasing by why? Because atomic radius is increasing due to increase in number of shells. Okay, reason also very important. After decrease, slight increase will be there at the last. That slight increase is due to what radius? Van der Waal radius. Okay, Van der Waal radius is used for inert gases. For all other gases and substances, either metallic radius or covalent radius are used. For every atom, if you find both of them, or all the three if you find, then obviously Van der Waal radius is going to be the largest radius available. What radius? Largest radius available is going to be atomic radius in Van der Waal radius only. Okay. So this is what we have studied as of now. Now what we will do, we will study about the second periodic property, variation. Okay. And most important periodic property, that is ionization energy. What is that? Ionization energy. So today's topic is ionization energy. Okay. So ionization energy is, first, what is ionization energy, what factor it will depend, then we will come to know the variation. Until unless you don't know the definition, you don't know the factors affecting, it will not be easy to understand about the ionization energy variation in periodic table. Okay. So first of all, ionization energy definition. We will study about what? Definition. Okay. So in the definition part, it is the amount of energy. It is the amount of energy required. Amount of energy required to remove most loosely bound. Which bond? Most loosely bound. Okay, most loosely bound electron from isolated gaseous atom. Which atom? Isolated gaseous atom. Okay, so every word is important, every word is necessary. If you miss to write, or if you in the more than one correct questions will be there, by missing any of this word, that makes the sentence null and void. Okay, so I will tell you the importance of each and every word. Okay, for removing electron, obvious energy will be required. See here, most important word is most loosely bound. Okay, so people will be happy to write valence electron, but that is wrong answer. Okay, if you write valence electron, that is going to be wrong answer. Why it is? Let us take about the nitrogen. Nitrogen atomic number is 7. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. This is the electronic configuration. Okay. Now, if you write valence electron. So this is also valence electron, this is also valence electron. But obviously what we will remove? We will remove 2p3 electron. We will remove which electron? 2p3 electron. Why? Because this is most loosely bound. And valence electrons are all the 5. So once you are writing valence electron means you are counting all of them as the same. But when you write most loosely bound, that means you are specifying to remove 2p3 electron only. That is the word, every small word, lot of difference. Is this clear? In the inorganic, it is a word magic. If you understand the word magic and what is asked and what you have to attempt, then it will be easy topic. Okay? So not much difficult like organic and physical. Understanding the concept and remembering for lot of days is only key of success in the inorganic. Understood? So most loosely bound word, why it is necessary, is it understood? Then isolated gaseous atom. Okay. So isolated gaseous atom means you will never and ever remove electron from the sodium solid. Okay. First of all, it should be converted into sodium gas. Why? Because in sodium solid form, in which form? In sodium solid form, each sodium is surrounded in all direction by so many sodiums, and that too closely spaced. That too, how they are available? They are all closely spaced. Okay, they are all closely placed. Therefore, what happens? It will not be possible for us to remove electron from this sodium. So that's why this word is used, isolated gaseous atom. Okay, gaseous conversion is necessary because in the gaseous state, sodium will be much far away from each other. So because of that, what happens? It becomes easy for us to remove this electron. It becomes what? Easy for us to remove this electron easily. Is this understood? Isolated gaseous atom. And what is the specific meaning of isolated? It is not only conversion of solid to the gas. It is also to break the bond. To break what? Bond. Okay. So note down this definition first, then I will explain what is the isolated word meaning. Okay, note down this. Okay, for example, it is given that for converting Cl to 2x kilojoules. Okay, how many kilojoules? 2x kilojoules of energy is required. Okay, then question is that what is ionization energy? Ionization energy of Cl is. Ionization energy of Cl is. Okay. So options are equal to 2x, equal to x, less than 2x, and less than x. Okay, like this options will be given. Now, normally what the people do, either they will commit mistake here, directly they will write it's a 0 to plus, therefore 2x. If some people are cautious, what they will do, they will write it as a divide by 2, because for 2 chlorine it is 2x, then it should be x. Okay, not like that. And some people are very cautious, less than 2x they will write. Actual answer is less than x. Okay, why? Because this energy is also used to break the chlorine-chlorine bond. Okay, because ionization energy definition, it is highly specified that amount of energy required to remove electron from isolated gaseous atom. This is gaseous molecule. But for removing, we cannot remove from this. First, it should be separated, then it should be repeated. So, out of the 2x energy, some energy will be involved in breaking the chlorine-chlorine bond. Therefore, what happens? Actual energy required for ionization energy will be less than that. Okay, less than that. So that's why answer will be less than x. Is this clear? So like that, a minute word also can be used to frame a question in the mains or aims, may need, like that. Okay. So is that ionization energy definition clear to all of you, including every word explained with the proper example. Now what we are going to do, you are going to understand about the units. Okay. So normally a word used ionization potential. Okay. What is the word used? Ionization potential. So if ionization potential used, then we will use a units of electron volt. Okay. Potential units will be electron volt. Okay. Then ionization. If the word is used energy. Okay. That time what we will do, instead of electron volt, we will use kilojoule or kilocalorie. Okay. Normally it will be calculated per mole. How it is calculated? It is calculated per mole only, it is calculated. Okay. It is calculated for 1 mole. Therefore, we will mention here also that 1 mole it is there. Is this understood? So, kilojoules are kilocalorie for ionization energy, and ionization potential it will be electron volt. Potential means voltage. Okay. Energy means kilojoules or calories. These are the units. Is this understood? Now, units we have understood, and definition we have understood. There is one more topic which is called as a successive. What it is? Successive ionization energies. Okay. What is successive ionization energy? Some atoms will not get stability by losing simply one electron. They have to lose further electrons. Okay. So that further electron removing also requires some more energy. So that some more energy is called as successive ionization energy. Okay. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of, suppose, sodium. Okay. So 281. So to get stabilized, it can convert into sodium. It can convert into sodium positive, then it is stable. Okay. It further does not require any energy furthermore. Okay. So this will be what? IE1. What it is called as? IE1. Okay. But if you talk about the if you talk about the magnesium, okay. So 282. If I provide one IE1 only, so IE1 will lose one electron. Then it will form magnesium positive 2, 8, 1. Is it stable? No. To become stable, what it have to do? It have to lose one more electron. It have to lose what? One more electron. Then whatever the energy we are providing, that is not to the atom. This energy is provided to isolated gaseous unipositive ion. What ion? Isolated gaseous and unipositive ion. Which positive ion? Unipositive, one positive ion. Previously, what we are providing? Energy we are providing it to the isolated gaseous atom. Okay. Is this understood? Ionization energy 1 and ionization energy 2. What is the difference and wording what you have to change? Okay. So this will give you the Mg2 plus, then it will become as 28 what? That's all. 28. That means it is stable. Now it won't ask you for further energy because it is already stable. It is already stable. Okay. Now let's take another example. Aluminium. Aluminium is 281. First, always remember IE1 is given to neutral atom. IE2 is given to unipositive ion. Okay. So it will form what? Aluminium plus 1 and 283. Okay. So 281. What it will be? 282. So is it stable? No. Then what it will take? IE2. One more electron it will lose. It will form Al plus 2. Is it stable? No. Then you will give IE3. So then it will lose one more electron. Then it will form aluminium plus 3. So now it is stable. Okay. So these IE1, IE2, and IE3. What is the common thing? You are giving it to the similar element. Understood? All of them are given to aluminum only, but they are given one after another. That's why this is called as a successive ionization energy. You cannot give IE3 to neutral atom. You cannot give IE2 to neutral atom. You cannot give IE1 to positive ion. Understood? They are to be given successively. That's why they are called as successive ionization energy. Okay. Now the question is where you require more amount of energy. Is it IE1 or IE2 or IE3? What is the question? Where you require more ionization energy. Okay. Obviously IE3. Why? Because here that I will explain it now clearly. So before that, what you will do, you will write these statements and examples. Okay, these are the definitions of IE1, IE2 and IE3. Okay, same to same everywhere, but only isolated gaseous atom, you will write uni-positive ion. Okay, in place of the isolated gaseous atom, you will write di-positive. If it is 3, di. If it is 2, uni. If it is 1, neutral. Okay, neutral, uni-positive and di-positive. That is the definition. Okay. Now I will explain how it is IE1 is less than IE2 less than IE3. Okay, note down this. Noted? Okay. So I will tell you why it is higher, why it is lower. Okay. So here let us take aluminium for convenience. Initially 13 proton, 13 electrons are there. Okay. So that time we are giving it IE1. Then it is giving as aluminium positive. Now 13 protons are as it is. 13 protons are as it is, but how many electrons now? 12 electrons. Okay. So then when you are giving it, see, you are giving it to the aluminium plus 12 electrons are being monitored, being attracted by the 13 protons. Okay. So the effective attraction force on this electron will increase because here 13 electron, 13 proton. Each proton is responsible for one electron, but it is not like that. More than one proton is responsible to look after the 12 electrons. So effective attraction on each electron will increase. Therefore, we have to provide more energy. That's why IU2 will be larger one. Okay. Now IE2 positive. See, already there will be attraction between this positive and negative. Okay. Now it is going to be 13 proton, but how many electrons? 11 electrons. Okay. So effective attraction force, number of people attracting are same and who getting attracted are decrease. So per electron effective attraction will increase and there will be more attraction by this 11 electrons over the plus 2 charge. So therefore, obviously we have to give more energy. Okay, IE3 will be most highest. Likewise, if you keep on increases, then electron will decrease, but number of proton remains same. That's why IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3, so on. Okay. Is this explanation clear? Why IE1? Why IE1 less than IE2 less than IE3? Okay. Due to increase in attraction per electron by the proton. Okay. This is what the reason. Okay, next most important topic of even ionization energy. Ionization energy itself important topic in that ionization energy depends on depends on factors. Depends on what factors? Okay, on what factor it is depending. First one is atomic size. What is the first one? Atomic size. These are all factors only. Questions will be there. In this chapter, no formula based, sentence based, factor based, reason based questions will be there. Okay. Atomic size. Second one will be nuclear charge. What is the second one? Nuclear charge. And third one is electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. Third factor is electronic configuration. Okay. And fourth factor is penetration effect. Fourth factor is what? Penetration. Penetration effect. Okay. And fifth factor is screening effect. Which effect? Screening effect. Okay. So these are the effects which are very, very important. Out of this, there will be definitely 2 to 3 questions. When you write this chapter examination, definitely from this chapter only 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 questions will be there. Okay. So these are the factors affecting ionization energy. And what factor, how questions will be coming, that we are going to do it now. Understood? First, remember all these 5 factors. Okay. Note down this 5 factors, then we will discuss one by one. Okay, let's discuss one by one factor. First factor is atomic size. What is the first factor? First factor we are going to discuss is atomic size. Okay, and this is least important. This is not important. Okay, because it is easy. So I will not say every topic is important so that I can grab your attention and waste your time. It is not much important. Okay. So atomic size, simple, common sense. It is difficult to remove electron from small atom or from large atom. Okay. In small atom, what happens? This is the nucleus. This is the electron, or somewhere this is the electron. Okay. We wanted to steal the electron. What we wanted to? We wanted to steal or remove the electron. Understood? But if I take a big atom, okay, if I take a big atom, nucleus will be somewhere here and electron will be somewhere here. Okay, so which is easy to, where it is easy to remove the electron. Okay, so here it is very nearby. So while you are stealing this electron, something can happen and catch you. Understood? But here there is no chance. It has to come out from a long distance to catch you while stealing this electron. So here you have to be very, very careful. You have to apply more energy. Here you need not to apply more energy. That means bigger atom, less energy. Smaller atom, more energy. Understood? That's why ionization energy is more in small atom, less in big atom. So which proportional? Inversely proportional. Okay. So ionization energy is inversely proportional to atomic size. Okay. Reason, what is the reason? Because as atomic size increases, as atomic size increases, distance between nucleus and valence electron increases, hence less energy required. What required? Less energy required to remove electron. Okay, less energy required to remove electron. This is what the first rule says. What is the first rule? Atomic size is inversely proportional to, ionization energy is inversely proportional to atomic size along with the reason. Okay, note down this. Then we will discuss further topics. Okay, second factor also not important. Second factor is also not important. Nuclear charge. Okay, what is the next topic? Nuclear charge. nuclear charge is directly proportional. Okay, ionization energy directly proportional to nuclear charge. Okay, so more the nuclear charge, more proton, so more will be the attraction, more energy is required. Okay, so there is no further explanation required for this. Just you write down ionization energy directly proportional to nuclear charge only. Okay, then we will go to the more important last three topics. Last three topics are very important. First one is electronic configuration. Out of this is third most important. Okay, electronic what configuration. Now based on this, so many questions will be there. Even I will explain through the graph so that this understanding must be clear. Okay, electronic configuration, how it is going to effect on ionization energy, that I am going to explain through the what graph. Okay, across the period, across the group, and I will explain with the graph so that you can understand with utmost clarity. Okay, this is the dominating factor over the nuclear charge and atomic size. Okay, if suppose somebody says increase and this will say decrease, whom you will follow? Electronic configuration rule only you will follow. Okay, domination factor also you should know when to follow whom. Okay, at what time, which rule you have to follow. Rule says some rule says follow and some rule says don't do it. So when you have to do according to what rule, that also you should be knowing. Electronic configuration rule is dominating over the other two rules. What are those two other rules? Nuclear charge and atomic size. Okay. Now let's see electronic configuration. What is the next one? Electronic configuration. Okay. So there are three types of configuration. Normal configuration, half filled configuration, and fully filled configuration. Okay, as from left to right, stability increases. What will increases? Stability increases from left to right. Okay, so once stability increases, then it is difficult to remove electron. Therefore, ionization energy also increases. To remove electron from fully filled subshell is very difficult. Okay, questions will be there. You will be given with ionization energy, and you have to identify. You have to what you have to do, identify which group it is, which period it is, like that. You have to identify that. Questions we will be doing in the question session. Okay. So for the time being, you wrote down this one only. Okay, normal, half filled, fully filled. Highest energy required in fully filled, lowest energy required in normal. Okay, so the sentence and meaning is very easy, but applying as per the question is very difficult. But what I will do simplified information through the appropriate question and graph. Explanation through the graph will make you clear. Okay. Okay. Next one is penetration effect. Which effect? Penetration effect. In the penetration effect is the most important after electronic configuration. And second most important is screening effect. Okay. So to understand the penetration effect, you should have an idea about the atomic structure. Okay. So people think that this is the fourth energy level, this is the third energy level, this is the second energy level, this is the first energy level, this is the nucleus. Okay. So it is not like that. Energy level is not a single line. Energy level is not a road. Okay. It is a track. What it is? It is a track. Okay. Track in the sense this is the fourth energy level. What is this? This is completely fourth energy level. Understood? So when you go through the electronic microscope, then it will be clarified. We like that. Okay. So this is completely fourth energy level. Like this, there will be width will be there. This will be third energy level. This will be second energy level. This will be first energy level. Okay. Energy level is not a single line. It is a track. What it is? Track is this one. Line is this one. Is this understood? So this clarity should be there. Okay. This clarity will get only you will get only when you use high precision instruments. Okay. So high precision instruments when you use, you will understand like this. Understood? So fourth energy level contains how many subshells? Four subshells. How many subshells they will contain? Four subshells they will contain. Okay. What are those? 4s, 4p, 4d, and 4f. Okay. Just for the namesake, they are staying together. Okay. When you ask 4p, then they will say, I am in the fourth energy level. When you ask 4f also, they will say, I am in the fourth energy level. And when you ask 4s also, they will say, I am in the fourth energy level. But practically speaking, they are not together. Okay. In this, the most sincere student is 4s. Okay. So it always moves like this. Okay. It always wanted to nearby the nucleus. It wanted to nearby the nucleus. Okay. So therefore, this person is successful. 4S. S stands for sincere and sincere stands for success. Okay. Now here 4F will be like this, 4P will be like this, 4D will be like this. Okay. So like this, they have their own path. Understood? So it will always try to escape from the atom. Okay. 4F got no interest what is going inside the nucleus. It wanted to be away from the nucleus every time. Okay. Whenever it gets a chance, it wanted to go out from the system itself. Go out from the system itself. Okay. So because of that, it is a failure. F stands for what? Failure. Okay. So 4S stands for sincere and successful. Sincere and successful. Okay. So this is what called as a penetration effect. Even though all of them are in the same energy level, S subshell electron got more tendency. S subshell electron got more tendency to penetrate into the nucleus. To penetrate where? Into the nucleus. Therefore, it is very difficult to remove the 4s electron. Okay. So when you go and ask 4s electron, can you come out with me for outing? Then it will say, no, I am sincere. I wanted to concentrate on the nucleus only. But when you ask 4f electron, it is very easy. Immediately it is ready. Okay. So you need not to force the 4f electron. Very less force required to remove the 4f electron because penetration effect is less. What effect is less? Penetration effect is very less in the 4f electron. Okay. Hence what happens? It becomes very difficult to remove 4s electron, very easy to remove 4f electron. That means penetration effect and ionization energy, what proportional? Penetration effect and ionization energy, what proportional? Inverse proportional. More penetration, sorry, direct proportional. More penetration, more energy required. Is this understood? Why it is? This is the distance. 4s is less distant from the nucleus and F is more distant from the nucleus. Okay, because of that, what happens? It becomes very difficult to remove the penetrating, highly penetrating atom. Okay, what is the highly penetrating electron? That is none other than S subshell. Okay, S subshell electron, it is very difficult to remove. Okay, so this series I am writing with the diagram. So better to draw this diagram for better clarity afterwards. Okay, draw this. Okay, this is the penetration effect. Understood? Ns, Np, Nd, Nf. Penetration effect decreases. Therefore, ionization energy also decreases. Ionization energy also what happens? Decreases. Okay, we can say ionization energy directly proportional to penetration effect. Okay, I am using shortcuts. I think you can understand it that. Okay. P means square penetration effect. NC means nuclear charge, like that shortcut I am using. Okay. So better to write full form. Yourself you can write full forms. Okay. Now let's study about what ionization energy effect, last effect. What is that? Screening effect. Okay. So that is very difficult to understand until unless you are given with proper examples. Okay. So let us see the nuclear charge. Nucleus, first, second, third. Okay, there are two atoms of same size. Okay, nucleus and nucleus, and same number of proton also. Okay, but here the thing is that electrons are here in the valency shell, and it is filled with the intermediate shells also. Like it can consist two electron. Okay, it can consist how many electrons? 6, 8 electron, and it can consist 18 electron. But here only one electron is there. No electrons are there in intermediate shells. What is it? This is hypothetically. It is not practically possible to construct our existence of such atom, but hypothetically you can assume that it is existing. Okay, what is that existing? We are assuming that this is the atom existing. Okay, this atom. This is not practically possible. Okay, so then it is, if we wanted to remove electron, what we wanted to do? We wanted to remove electron. It is difficult to remove this electron or this electron. Question is that which electron is difficult to remove. Okay, answer should be, and answer will be, what is the answer? This should be very difficult, because all nucleons like proton are looking and looking after only this electron. Okay, so there will be constant vigilance on this electron. There will be what? Constant vigilance on this electron. Okay, everybody is watching at this electron only. So it is highly difficult to remove this electron, because all are watching this electron only. Here it is screened between so many electrons are there. So we can easily take out this electron because presence of this electron. Understood? So the energy required here and energy required here, this will be more. You have to be very careful, highly energetic, okay, to remove this electron, because nobody is there in between. Everybody is looking at this electron, but here it is not like that. When the electron moves like this, you can take out that. Okay, so less energy is required to remove this electron. So that effect shown by this electron is called as a screening effect. What effect? Screening effect. That means they are avoiding to attract by the nucleus on the valence electron. That is what called as a screening effect. Screening effect, is it understood? Screening effect is the decrease in attraction. All of you can write screening effect. Definition I am dictating. Write down. Screening effect is decrease in attraction. The atomic attraction decreased or not? Decrease in attraction by the nucleus over the valence electron due to the presence of electron in intermediate shell. Due to the presence of electron in intermediate shell. Okay, electrons are present in intermediate shells. Therefore, it is very easy. Less energy is required. Less energy is required to remove such electron. Okay. So definition is clear. So screening effect is what? Decrease. Screening effect is what? Decrease in ionization energy. Okay. Decrease in ionization energy due to Because of what? Due to presence of electron. Due to presence of electron. Due to presence of electron in the intermediate shells. In the intermediate shells. Okay. So decrease in energy to remove valence electron due to presence of electron in intermediate shells. Okay. Now you can identify what is the relation. If screening effect is more, ionization energy less or more. Ionization energy and screening effect. What should be the relation, directly or inversely? What should be the relation between screening effect and ionization energy? Okay. Screening effect is more screening effect, less attraction, less will be the ionization energy. Okay. Screening effect and ionization energy are inverse proportional. Okay. Screening effect increases, attraction decreases, so less energy we will use it to remove that. Is that clear to all of you? Is that clear?